Hey, good morning and happy Friday. I feel like we've been playing Anchor Roulette here on Breakfast with Bridgett. Today, you have me, Crystal Moyer. She is off feeling a little under the weather. So, yesterday you had Eric Sandoval, and today we're going to wrap up the week with little old Crystal. So today we have a lot to talk about. We do have some breaking news going on. Two deadly shootings, one in Seminole County, one in Orange County. We also have a check on your weather because it's been quite a roller coaster. It's going to be warming up and cooling back down into next week. So we'll check in with Candace. We also have a really good event that's going on out in Seminole County over the weekend. Maybe you and your family have some pets or are thinking about adopting a furry pet, adding them to your family this holiday season. We'll be speaking with the Director of Emergency Management, hopefully Alan Harris, about an event that'll be going on in Seminole County to encourage some folks to adopt dogs, cats, or even rabbits. And then there's some illnesses that have been going on. I've been talking about COVID, RSV, the flu, especially after everybody has had those Thanksgiving gatherings. Doctors are seeing a spike in those sicknesses, but families are wondering, how do you know which is which? How do you know which illness you have? So we spoke with some pediatricians to kind of break down some of the symptoms so that you can help your family and stay safe and healthy this holiday season. So I'm going to bring in meteorologist Candace Campos to talk about our weather. It has been cold, chilly the past few days, but today I'm not wearing sleeves. No sleeves today.
Yeah, it's Sleeveless Friday. We both have like flutter, like you have a different type of sleeve.
We do.
So,
Bloop.
It's just fun. We text each other at 2 a.m. asking what we're wearing. No, I'm just kidding. We don't.
We coordinate.
It's always a roulette. Yeah, you know what? It's going to be a really warm day. Right now, we are waking up between 10 and 17 degrees warmer, Crystal, this morning than yesterday. And an interesting little tidbit here. Our wake-up temperatures this morning will be our daytime highs next week. So here it goes. You said roller coaster.
Here we go.
Let's go. All right, let's take it to the maps across the area for today. We are right now about 56 in Ocala, 57 in the Villages. Good morning to you guys in New Smyrna Beach. It's going to be a fantastic beach day if you have the opportunity to do so. We're currently sitting at 61 degrees, 63 in Cape Canaveral, and in Osceola County at 64. Look at this temperature change map. In the last 24 hours, we are running between about 8 and 17 degrees warmer today compared to yesterday. So you'll notice it, I can guarantee you, the moment you walk out the door. Now, for those who are Central Floridians or Floridians in general, maybe a light jacket might be needed this morning, but you will not need any winter weather wear at all throughout the next couple of days. Look at those temperatures. We're currently sitting in the 60s. We'll be warming up into the low 80s today, warming up fast, a few clouds around, and that's all thanks to a new front that's going to be moving through. We've got a tree lighting celebration later on tonight. Crystal Moyer, Trooper Steve, and I will be out there. Again, Bridgett is a little bit under the weather, hence why Breakfast with Bridgett right now is croissants with Crystal. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-70s by about 7 o'clock. Now, we do have a lot of performances that are going to be starting off by about 5, 6 o'clock. The lighting officially at 8 will be in the low 70s. We're looking mostly dry, but a fantastic night if you want to take the family out there and celebrate the start of the season. It is December 1st, and of course, we're starting off December in the 80s because that's what we do. But big changes are ahead in the forecast. Here comes that next front. It is bringing scattered showers. A couple of watches and warnings have been issued across areas of southern Louisiana into Mississippi and Alabama as well. And as we continue into the next couple of days, we are anticipating a lot more of that rain to start settling in here into Central Florida. So in the meantime, mix of sun and clouds for today, but look at where the winds are coming out of. It's those red southerly arrows pumping in all that heat and humidity. We'll turn a little more westerly and easterly throughout the next couple of days. More clouds in the forecast for your Saturday, so mostly cloudy day. And then as we head into your Sunday, you'll see the approach of that cold front moving through to our northern zones, bringing with it a couple scattered showers. Nothing strong, nothing severe, just a little change compared to what we've been dealing with for the past week. But once that front pushes out, much colder weather. Here comes those roller coaster temperatures. I love this graphic. We're going to be in the 80s for today and into the weekend. A few showers again on Sunday. And then once that front clears Monday, by the middle part of next week, our highs are going to be back into the 60s. So as we get results here with your full 7-day forecast, again, your best shot of rain, although it's not widespread, will be about 30 to 40% on Sunday. We'll dry things out, cool things down as well, more sunshine, and really cooling us down fast into those 60s starting Wednesday, Crystal. So again, like we said during the morning show, if you like the 80s, we got some days. We got like the 70s, we got some days. If you like the
Something for
60s,
everyone.
we've got it. We got a little rain because I know that I shut off my sprinklers last week because of all the rain and things like that.
Yeah.
Forgot the kids were playing.
Turn it back on.
The kids were playing outside yesterday, and they said, "The grass is kind of scratchy." I'm like,
You got that
"What?"
crunchy grass now.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Mm.
Don't let my HOA know that stuff. But yeah, make sure you have the sprinklers on. Turn the ACs back on because you'll be needing it at least for the next couple days.
All right. Well, I'll have my hands up for that roller coaster, that dip next week.
Isn't that picture great?
I love it. I'm a
Lennon
big roller coaster
McReynolds.
rider, so I'm here for it.
Same. You told me about the Velocicoaster.
Yes, that's my
And
favorite ride.
And the motorbike. I just went to Universal a couple weeks ago.
Did you get on any of them?
Yes, they were fantastic.
I
They're
told you.
fantastic. Yeah.
I told you.
But a big shout out to Landon. He goes to all the theme parks all the time. He's practically lives there. I always say he lives at Cinderella's castle. But we are going to continue to see a lot of these graphics kind of filtered in across, the holidays because there's so many great photos and things like that. So keep an eye out. Big shout out to Landon. Thank you.
I love it. And if you're into theme parks just like we are, Landon McReynolds, he is our theme park reporter. He's also produces our In the Loop Theme Park Scoops newsletter every week. You get like the first, info, the first 411 on what's going on across all the theme parks in Central Florida. So thank you so much, Candace.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Thanks. All right. So we want to talk a little bit about the traffic because, some kids still in school, maybe some families want to head on down to some of the parades and events that will be going on around our area. So we're going to head right on over to Trooper Steve, who's been keeping his eye on the roads and drinking a cafecito. Good morning.
A little extra left. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. Wondering where my cafecito is. I don't...
Hey, every time you're very careful with your caffeine intake. You're probably the healthier one out of all of us because you're always like, Steve, I'm good. I don't need any more. So
is it about
I
health,
can respect
though?
someone like you.
Is it about health or is it just I don't need it?
It's just about surviving. It's for me at this point. So, but yeah, you're right. There's so many amazing events. You and Eric were talking about it all morning. Of course, the big event, our event tonight in downtown, but Winter Park has the parade going on. I saw them earlier in the week already with all the blockades out kind of lined up, ready to shut down Park Avenue and stuff. So it's going to be a really packed weekend. I just hope everyone enjoys it and pays attention. You know how this goes.
Oh, yeah. So how's the traffic doing right now in and around the area? I know this morning you said it was pretty clear for the most part, not too many crashes, but as the day progresses, those kids are going to school. Are we seeing some traffic buildups?
Surprisingly, Bridget, I am counting my prayers. Excuse me, Crystal.
Okay.
I am counting. I'm seeing the logo and I'm just reading what I see. Things look great out here this morning. So all the routine delays are there. Obviously, they're not just going to go away, but there are no major backups, no major crashes this morning on a Friday. I call that a success. We're going into the weekend really good. So what we're looking at here is I-4 at the 69.7. I think I might be one of like 10 people who speak mile marker. So this is going to be I-4 at Central Florida Parkway. Out by the outlets, the attractions area, you can see things moving pretty good this morning. Even the map showing things green. It's right there in the center of your screen, east and westbound. If you're hopping on 528 as well, maybe you're heading towards the airport on a Friday towards the coast. First, lucky you. It must be nice. But things nice and clear as you're making your way towards the airport this morning. OBT, Skylake area. Skylake is, a lot of people don't know, that's the area that surrounds the Florida Mall. So things nice and clear there. Even the Oak Ridge, pretty smooth. The only other crash, we talked about the Goldenrod. This one just came out a second ago. We were able to talk about it briefly before we ended the show at Pine Hills Road northbound, right there at North Lane. Single lane block, but I think FHP is getting ready to clear this one out. 417, pretty good cut around. I love 417 when it's not backed up. This is Boggy Creek, so south of the airport. Look at that drive time. Travel time to John Young Parkway from that point, 4 to 6 minutes. I drive 7 to 9 if you're coming from the airport. So that's a really good drive time. South of there, though, along Boggy Creek Road, The school zone's always pretty packed. We actually talked about the expansion project that is slated to happen out along Boggy Creek with the expansion towards east. That will definitely help them out. City of Kissimmee, you guys are good along 192. Just the routine slowdown. There is an abnormal slowdown right now along westbound 192. You can see that red right there as you're approaching Parton Settlement Road. Parton Settlement Road is an area right there by the tax collector's office, and as you're making your way towards the entrance to the turnpike, Pleasant Hill. Listen, I lived on Pleasant Hill for most of my childhood. You could walk faster in the morning. Poinciana, you guys are a little slow this morning, but Crystal, I'm so serious about it. It's like there's a guy out there that used to walk his dogs all the time, and people would wave hi. He's still out there 25, 30 years, and you could just drive down, and he'll wave with his
And
dogs
he's passing the
like
cars.
that. He's passing the cars.
That's
It's
when
just
you know.
Pleasant Hill. I feel so bad because Poinciana was built before a lot of the infrastructure happened. So they're so locked in there. Housing market's great down there, but you kind of need like an electric or hover car. Yeah, exactly. So I'm really excited that we're starting our Friday off fairly smooth out on the roadways. I just really want everyone to remember holiday season. I call it the fog era of the year. You forget what day it is. You have so much going on. Just focus. There's so much fun happening. I would hate for anyone to ruin it with a crash. So, and then soft plug, come out tonight to the tree lighting so we can see you guys and meet you guys. Crystal and I love meeting you guys out in the community. I know Candace enjoys it. So we are all going to be there, festive, having a good time, and that's what it's about. So we hope to see you guys there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Trooper Steve. I will see you later.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you're just now joining us, welcome back to Breakfast with Bridgett. I am Crystal Moyer filling in. Bridget's a little under the weather, so she will be back on Monday. We do have some breaking news to talk about. 2 separate deadly shootings overnight, and the most recent one happened out in the Seminole County area around 11:45 last night. Here's some video from the scene. Ezzy Castro has been out there all morning reporting on this. This is at the Mystic Cove Apartments out in Seminole County. That's off Aloma, right near State Road 417. If you live in that area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So deputies told Ezzy Castro earlier this morning that it was an 18-year-old man found shot and killed outside one of the units of the apartment complex. So it was very active scene into the early morning hours. Detectives trying to sweep the area for any evidence. They did focus on a vehicle in the video that you just saw. So I'm not sure, what the relation is to the person who was killed out there, but they seem to be focusing on that as well. Deputies say there were a lot of people outside during the time of the shooting, but, they don't know if they saw anything, and they're still searching for a suspect in that. So we don't have any kind of description on a potential suspect right now or the identity of the man who was killed. It's just horrible to see any kind of crime like this. And then just hours before that, there was another deadly shooting, this one out of Orange County off of Powers Drive. They're trying to figure out who shot and killed a man at an apartment complex there. This one happened at Park Hamilton Apartments. That's off Silver Star and Powers Drive. Also an active scene there. As you could see, deputies say they were actually responding to a stolen vehicle when someone pulled them aside and told them about that shooting. So that's how they made it to that scene. The man who was shot there is said to be in his 20s. He was taken to the hospital, and that's where he passed away. So at this point, deputies haven't released any details about a possible suspect or the identity of the victim there, but they're investigating. And of course, as soon as we find out any more details, we will let you know during our newscast on News 6 and on clickorlando.com. If you have the News 6 app, just search WKMG in your app store, and we do send out push alerts to let you know what's going on when we get information on breaking news situations. So a great tool to have there if you want to learn more about what's going on there. Now let's shift a little bit because our investigative reporter Mike Hofeld does a lot of stories about schemes and ripoffs, and this one's been really interesting because the U.S. Secret Service is involved, and we're talking about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin alerts. A lot of people have seen some of those Bitcoins ATMs around the area. So, the Secret Service is trying to raise awareness about these schemes. So Mike Holfeld spoke with them and has more on what they're doing to help you save your money and make sure it's not stolen from you.
The scams that are identified on these are just so prevalent.
You're watching a unique law enforcement briefing. staged in front of the Seminole County Sheriff's Office Thursday morning.
I would just go in and say, hey, Secret Service, we're going to put this up either on your Bitcoin ATM, or is there another location you want us to put it so that people can see it?
The Secret Service Cyber Fraud Task Force targeting the machines used to transfer cash to cryptocurrency. This first wave earmarked Bitcoin hubs across Seminole County. The task force mapped out the 70 locations where these machines are set up. For the record, the machines are legal, but what they can do to people's lives can be a financial disaster. The door-to-door delivery was handled by task force members from Seminole County Sheriff's Office, Castleberry, and Lake Mary Police, as well as the U.S. Secret Service.
And you okay with us putting it on the wall?
The whole idea was to place these posters in plain view, a warning.
The signs actually clearly tells them what could happen.
Special Agent Matthew Roberts.
What's the reaction been from merchants so far?
So far, all of the merchants that we've been with, they have been very cooperative. They are willing to put these up because they understand the scams that's been going on, and they want to work with law enforcement.
The financial fallout has been staggering. This year alone, the FTC estimates Americans lost more than $1 billion in schemes involving cryptocurrency transactions.
And we're hoping that by putting these up at the Bitcoin ATMs or in the windows of these different establishments, that a victim coming in that's fallen for one of these will take a look at this and think twice about putting their money in the Bitcoin ATM.
They may think, wait a minute, I'm living that right now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The Secret Service tells me they'll continue the placement of these posters in 6 additional counties from Citrus to Brevard. Obviously, the message is clear. Stop cryptocurrency scams. Hopefully, people pay attention and don't become the next victim. Mike Holfeld, Getting Results, News 6.
Wow, it's so easy to get involved in those types of schemes because things like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, they're hot topics. And even where I live near Apopka, I remember once I was at the Coin Laundry and I went to go get a drink next door at a gas station, and there was a Bitcoin ATM there. And I was very curious about it. So just make sure when you are in those areas, maybe if you are investing in cryptocurrency or you approach, just look for any type of signage surrounding that ATM, just so that you make sure you don't become a victim of any of these schemes. Great report there by Mike Holfeld. He has a great relationship with the Secret Service and has been able to bring us some really interesting investigative stories on what they've been working on, and of course saving people a lot of money who've been ripped off and schemed by a lot of bad people. And this time of year it just happens. All right, so we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with Breakfast with Bridgett. I am Crystal Moyer here filling in, so stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. I'm Crystal Moyer, here filling in for Bridgett. She's a little under the weather for Breakfast with Bridgett. Thank you for staying with us on this Friday. I hope you guys are so excited for the weekend. We do want to talk about a health alert, though. This is really serious because pediatricians and doctors are saying they're seeing an uptick in 3 respiratory illnesses. We're talking RSV, we're talking COVID, also we're talking about flu cases as well. And doctors are saying, obviously, they're seeing an uptick in COVID and flu because of those gatherings during Thanksgiving. So that's why they're seeing a lot of people show up in their doctor's offices. But the issue with these 3 are, how can you tell the difference? A lot of them have kind of similar symptoms. So our reporter, Catherine Silver, spoke to 2 pediatricians about how you can tell the differences as far as the symptoms go and what you need to know to keep your family healthy.
Here we are the week after Thanksgiving. We all just sat down, shared a meal together. Are we seeing a spike in these respiratory illnesses?
Oh, absolutely. Since everybody's come back from break, my schedule is full.
Full of flu A and B and RSV. Dr. Salma El-Faki with the Nona Pediatric Center says patients are coming in with respiratory symptoms post-Thanksgiving.
Seeing a lot of RSV.
How do you tell what you have?
Most respiratory illnesses, you may have a fever. You can have body aches. With RSV in particular, it's just a lot of clear runny nose initially. Then a person can develop a raspy cough and can develop wheezing.
With similar symptoms, it's not always easy to spot the difference. And without a test, it may be difficult to get a definitive answer.
And then you even throw in allergies, which can give you a stuffy, runny nose.
Dr. Candace Jones is a pediatrician at Orange Blossom Family Health.
When do you know it's time to take an additional step?
Certainly if your symptoms aren't getting better, if I'm not breathing right, if my fever has lasted now 4 or 5 days, if I'm not able to keep in fluids, I'm vomiting or having diarrhea, those are some symptoms where you need to get in to see your pediatrician, urgent care, or emergency even.
We're spending a lot of time together at this time of year. What's your advice to families?
You know, we're in the sick season of viruses, and so that is to be expected. If you're sick, stay home. You know, don't spread it to everyone else. Take your kids to see their pediatrician or get them care if you're worried about them. And by all means, with everything circulating, make sure you're getting the vaccine. We have vaccines to protect from COVID, to protect from flu.
Advice for a happy and healthy holiday season. Catherine Silver, Getting Results, News 6.
Great advice there, especially as we're heading towards Christmas and you know you're going to see your family and friends and you know you're going to be up at the mall doing some shopping, being around a whole bunch of people. Make sure you get those vaccines to try to keep yourself safe and healthy this holiday season. So we do have a consumer alert, and this one has to do with protein bars, because get this, some people are finding hair nets in these protein bars. That's why they are being recalled. So we're talking about the Burn Boot Camp Afterburn grass-fed whey protein bars. The flavor is triple chocolate almond flavor. So people have reported finding disposable hair nets, shrink wrap, and parchment paper inside. So they're being recalled right now, and they're saying if you have them in your pantry, do not eat them. Either return them for a refund wherever you purchased them, or just go ahead and throw them out. You don't want to risk choking on it. It's a huge choking hazard, and that's just nasty. Some hair nets. I know you're trying to eat healthy, but that's so gross. And it is starting to feel like Christmas finally. I know the temperatures are going up here in Florida, but so many tree lighting ceremonies are underway. It is the 1st of December, so this is video out of Oviedo at the tree lighting there. They flipped the switch, they turned everything on. You can see that huge snowman. They had reindeer out there, which is so cool. Hundreds of people gathered at this event. There were some food trucks there and carolers. It looks like they had a wonderful time. And a reminder, there's a special event tonight. The city of Orlando hosting its annual tree lighting ceremony. And of course, News 6, our morning team is out there every single year to, of course, do the countdown and to that big tree lighting show. So everything starts around 5:30. That's when the musical performances happen. And this is at Lake Eola Park. You want to get out there early to get your parking. The weather's supposed to be perfect. The tree lighting starts at 8. And if you can't make it out, we're going to stream it on clickorlando.com, so you don't have to miss a thing. Maybe you're out of town or you just can't make it out today, but it is a great opportunity to bring your family out, bring your kids, your friends. The program is just incredible every single year. The very talented musicians that are playing your Christmas favorites, your classics, so you could sing along. And of course, Mayor Buddy Dyer will be there. The tree lighting ceremony and the light show is spectacular. Let me tell you, there are so many lights. The tree is so tall, so you could see it from far away. It's so much fun. And we look forward to seeing you there in person or on clickorlando.com. Thank you so much for joining us for Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm Crystal Moyer. We'll see you on Monday.